Agasamidam Shanti, peace to you, peace to me. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Peter and today I would like to talk about intellectuals are beginning to see through the lies. The big Maya that's been put across your face. Your perception is seeing lies and manipulations and propaganda flooding into you. What is the truth? Where are you going with your life? What is the truth? I'm going to read you a quote from Goebbels, who was a German Nazi propagandist, and just see if it resonates with you with today. So it says, "There's no point in seeking to convert the intellectuals, for intellectuals will never be converted, and always yield to the stronger, and this will be the man in the street. Arguments must therefore be crude, clear and forcible, and appeal to emotions and instincts, not the intellect. Truth was unimportant and entirely subordinate to tactics and psychology." So did you get that? Are you an intellectual? Are you intelligent? Are you using your brain? Have you taken back your brain? So arguments, I don't see any anymore. You can bring up a question, say for instance about glyphosate, which I've brought up with my local garden centres because they still sell it in their local garden centres. Now there's been court rulings that it is a neurotoxin and it's hazardous to human health. There's been payouts in the courts in America to say this is toxic, neurotoxin and hazardous to human health. And they're finding it in babies' milk. Now in Germany there was a mother who was breastfeeding and they was wondering what was wrong with the child, and they found the glyphosate was being fed into the baby. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. And I wrote to my local garden centre and I said, why are you still selling glyphosate when it's being proven now across the world, in medical journals as well, to be toxic to humans? And they said, well, there's no proof of that. So I sent proof across to them. Can you see this? And they said, well, no, the British government don't see that as proof. What? If it's in the Supreme High Court of America, I think that's quite a high, prestigious place, and they do actually follow the ethics of they used to, the ethics of the bar. That's another interesting point, where if you go to the Magna Carta memorial place in Egham, you can see there's 3 plaques from the American Bar Association. The first 2 say 1980, 1990. The American Bar Association adheres, i.e. sticks to the great Magna Carta. And then the 3rd one, the American Bar Association recognises. So different. I recognise you, you recognise me. I adhere to you, you adhere to me. Different, completely different. That's what it says on the Magna Carta memorial place. And so therefore they've released all law away from it, from the Magna Carta, the common law, which is you shouldn't harm or hurt anybody or anybody else's property. So if you, in corporate law, you seem to be able to waive harm, or you have enough money, you put money into your budget where you're going to be paying people off. Arguments must therefore be crude, clear and forcible. No, there's nothing wrong with this. What's wrong with you? It's your problem. So luckily, intellectuals or intelligent people are actually starting to see through this, and they start to see, I think the first essence of this is my brother, well, a couple of my brothers actually seeing through the BBC for the first time, going, wow, this is propaganda that they're pushing. Yeah, and it gets worse. So they tell enormous lies. The establishments tell enormous lies, and we're supposed to swallow that. And now the intelligent people of the world are starting to see that a little bit more, and they need to speak up a little bit more, because not so many people are speaking up. But it's changing now. It's actually changing. It's starting to get a little bit bigger, and we need to be doing more of it. So you need to be doing your research. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Because if you look into, say, for instance, glyphosate is a very good example. Unbelievable what's happening with glyphosate and the damage it's doing to our environment. Fluoride is another great example of that. Everybody's rubbing it into their teeth and gums. How was fluoride introduced into toothpaste? Go to Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is a plethora of information where you can find out what he was up to as a human being. And he got some of his cronies to say that fluoride really good for the teeth, stops fluorosis, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden fluoride is in all the toothpaste. And you can see the cancer that it causes all over. Fluoride, because it's not the fluoride that you find in nature. It isn't. Fluoride in nature is actually attached to another particle, and it can go through your body. This fluoride is hydrofluorosilicic acid, and it goes into your body. Your body doesn't know what to do with it, so therefore it creates bone cancer. The fluoride they put in the water, you can see in Ireland. There was a map up of the internet, and you see Northern Ireland, where they had all the fluoride removed, thanks to Walter Graham, good guy, know him well. Southern Ireland didn't have the fluoride taken out of the water. You see the cancer clusters, especially in the cities where the fluoride is being pumped out. In the country is not so bad, but it's removing fluoride from the water. What are we doing mass medicating? Surely if you're intelligent, you can realise if you're trying to medicate a certain specific part of the population, you don't mass medicate everybody. But with the fluoride in the water, they do. They do. So the intelligent people are actually seeing that. And 9/11 is a very, very good example of intellectuals, intelligent people seeing through this lies. So what temperature, just a question for you to think about, what temperature does metal turn into dust? What temperature? I don't know. But when I saw those towers come down, I saw metal turning into dust, and that it wasn't nanothermite, which is what some conspiracy theorists say. I don't know what it was. Was it a controlled weapon or whatever? But the metal turned into dust. Very strange. Very strange. And how did a building collapse just through fire? NIST did 2 reports on that, and both of them were thrown out of court because they were just fabrication. Surely NIST, the National Intelligence for Safety and Technology, should have some sway and understanding where they got the people coming in and researching what happened to that building, and they couldn't come up with an answer. So it just collapsed through fire, but it looked like a controlled demolition to me. The Twin Towers, different. They came down differently. They went into dust. Building 7 came down as if it was a controlled demolition. And also when you stick with 9/11, when you look at the Pentagon, and there's a circle there, just a circle where the plane, alleged plane, hit the Pentagon. And so what happened there with the titanium engines that were sitting on each wing? So the official story is that the wings buckled in as it went through the hull, and the titanium melted. And yet you look up just above where the hole is in the Pentagon, you've got like papers flapping about and computer screens. Didn't melt that. That amount of heat to melt titanium would have blitzed the whole area, surely. I don't know, again, I could look it up quite easily, but I don't know what the heat level is to melt titanium. But so they melted as the wings came in, but when you looked at the Twin Towers plane going into that, you saw where the wings went in, and those wings are very light. They will bend, yes, but the ones that, the alleged planes that went into the side of 9/11, the Twin Towers, the wings went straight through concrete and hardened steel. See, the big questions, there's really big questions to go on with this. And why, who benefited from 9/11? Well, obviously the complete destruction of the Middle East, taking Saddam Hussein out, taking Gaddafi out, taking all of those people out who weren't going along with the agenda and who were questioning the petrodollar. Again, another enormous amount of information there. So people are starting to see through this more and more people are starting to stand up. So hopefully you can think about this, you can do your own research, and you start to say, well, no, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to live with my other human beings. I don't want to be separated in my house anymore. I want to get out into my community and start building trust, building bonds. But the way to do that is to trust yourself first. So the most important thing, meditate, do some Qigong, yoga, anything like that, just to help you connect with yourself. And once you connect with yourself, you start to trust yourself, then you can start to trust other human beings. And I really hope that you get on that path, because it's so important. You're amazing, you always will be, and never forget that. Never let anybody say anything different. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next video. Sarang Hamida.